Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Altcoin Mentors YouTube channel. My name is Peter, and today I'm going to be doing a Beginner's Essential series on where to place stops. Our main goal here at Altcoin Mentors is to help as many people as possible achieve their goal of financial freedom. We believe trading cryptocurrencies is an opportunity of a lifetime. By the end of this video, you should have a better understanding of where to place stops effectively for profit and also to protect yourself. If you like our videos, please follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. We also have a model portfolio, so you can view our positions and progress. The link is down below. If you'd like to be notified of our latest videos, please hit the bell button. All right, so let's start. So where to place stops? So stops are very important. Do you need a stop? Absolutely. But the problem for a lot of people is that they don't know where to put stops. Right? The question you may ask yourself, or the thing that you may tell me, is that, man, I always seem to get taken out at the worst possible place. That's what we're going to talk about today. So, where to place your stops. So there's really three outcomes when you place your stops. Right? And that's what we're going to talk about. And then this is the outcome that you have to really ask yourselves, which one is the one that you really would like to have. First outcome is that there's a strong reverse move. So let's say you're long, right? And then there's a strong move to the other side, and it just keeps on going, right? Most people would say, oh man, I'm okay with that, right? And that's where the mentality of it is. If it keeps on going, then you're okay with it. But what happens if it's normal volatility and you put it in and you get it right at the edge, right? And then it comes back, right? So let's say you're long again, you put your stop loss, it comes and gets you a little bit, and then it touches you and it goes higher. So what do you do next time? So you know what? I'm going to put mine a little bit tighter because this way I'll only lose a little bit. So now you're going into the mindset of losing. And that's where we're going to try to help you out with today. So where is the optimal place for you to put your stop loss? So the key here is what is normal fluctuation, right? And that is the answer that you have to ask yourself. Like no matter what you're trading, whether it's Bitcoin, Ether, Bitcoin Cash, Monero, BitShares, Chainlink, whatever coin that you're trading, you have to really ask yourself, what is the normal fluctuation, right? Because what you want to do is you want to feel a little pain, right? When your stop loss gets hit, but it shouldn't be adverse, right? And then because the other part is too, like you always ask yourself, like, why me, right? Normal fluctuation. And sometimes you just have to be able to take it. Because that's the hard thing about the trading is that as traders, we have to understand that we're going to be wrong a lot. And the last thing is that, the least optimal place is that you can't keep it too tight, right? Keeping it too tight is always a disaster for everybody. So I'll give you a story. A couple of years ago, I was helping this person out. He was an engineer by trade. And he had taken out a lot of his money, his retirement, and he was going to start trading ES, which is the S&P Mini. And so he'd been trading for about 6 months, and he lost a lot of money. And so I started talking to him the first day, and I asked him, like, so what do you think your problem is? He goes, oh, my stops are too tight. I said, what's your stop loss? Oh, it's 2 points, which is about $100 per contract. I said, wow, that's pretty tight because, even on the hourly, the range is about 4 points. Right, so I say, how many times do you, get hit? Your stop loss get hit. And he says, all the time. I said, well, why don't you move it to 4 points? It's like, oh, because I don't want to lose, 4 points. I'd rather just lose 2 points. So what ends up happening is that he loses 2 points, until he actually did the back testing. He looked at it and he said, oh yeah, 4 points. Wow, I rarely get hit at 4 points, right? And then that little mindset, so you can't keep things a little bit too tight. It's okay for you to lose money. Yeah, that's part of the game. So this is how I set my stop loss. I use something called average to range. And what I do is I select a time frame. And everyone has a different time frame. You can be a swing trader, a position trader. You can be a day trader. You can be a mini day trader, like going in on tick charts or minute charts. Whatever your time frame is. But whatever the time frame is, you have to pick an average to range that fits your goal. So what I like to do is I tell people that depends on how long you expect to be in a trade. Right? Like, what is your setup? Like, what are you looking for? And a lot of times, this is part of the problem, is that people don't have a plan. So what they do is they go in and say, I just want to make as much money as I can. But they don't know, like, how long. They don't do the homework. They don't know how long their normal period of being in a trade for a winner or for a loser really are, right? They don't look at the candles and they say, oh, they look at an hourly candle and then they put their stop loss looking at a 15-minute candle. That's just terrible. What you have to do is, if you're looking at a 15-minute candle, you should set your stop loss at an hourly or a 4-hour candle. So the reason why I like average true range is that it's very systematic because it changes every single day, right? So as you're trading, what it does is you don't just say, oh, I want to lose $100 today, $150 today, right? You don't just say $100 every single day, or you don't just look at the charts and say, oh, I'm going to put my stop here, here, here every single time. What it does is it becomes a system. Every single day, depending on range, right, where the action of the market has been, average true range changes. So what it does is, in a highly explosive market, when things are moving a lot, your ATR will be big, right? So it's very dynamic. And then when when things are very slow, like it is right now in Bitcoin, right, your true range is going to be a little bit smaller. So how do you compensate for that? What you do is you just trade less. So if you're used to trading like 2 Bitcoins before, or maybe 1 full Bitcoin, right? If your range gets really big, you just trade half. You trade a quarter. You don't have to trade the whole thing, right? And when the range gets tighter, you just trade a little bit more. Because average true range, what it'll do for you is it'll give you lots of space. And that's really what you need as a trader. You need some space. And so I'm going to show you this on a chart. So I have to flip this over, right? So do this, and here we go. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin chart for the last couple weeks now, right? June 1. So the hourly ATR is 61, the 4-hour is 112, and the daily ATR is 327. So right now the trend is down, right? So let's look at it from here. So let's say that you're lucky enough to catch this upside move right here. Okay, so then if you really want to stay in this trade a long time, right, you should put your stop loss at a daily ATR 327. So that means that at the current price, or at the highest price, which was 68.55, you put your stop loss in at around 6,500. Right? This way, if you're lucky enough to get in right here at 64.74, what you're doing is you're guaranteeing yourself a good profit. If you move it closer to the 4-hour ATR of 112, right, what you're saying is that, and this is a 90-minute candle, what you're saying is that what I'm willing to do is I'm willing to give up $112 in the next 4 hours. Right? Because that's how these things work. Right? So you look at it, you go 1, 2, and then look, 1, 2, 3. So that's 4.5 hours. Each candle is 90 minutes in 4.5 hours. So from the top over here, 68.55, all the way to where it is, 67.24, guess what? You would have been stop lossed out. Right? And then if you do the hourly. So what I tend to do is, if I'm in a very profitable trade, and so if I'm in a swing trade, like I am currently now on a downward trend, I will keep my stop loss very, very wide. Right? If I'm on a day trade, I keep my things very, very tight. So what I'll generally do is I'll enter in on a 4-hour ATR, right, on a day trade, and then I'll squeeze it to a hourly ATR, right? If I'm profitable by more than the hourly ATR. So let's give an example. So we'll zoom in here. We'll look at a shorter time frame because we're looking at day trades now, right? So, okay, so let's look at this example here. So, all right. So let's say that you wanted to play this little breakout to the downside because you know that 6,600 is support. So you want to try to grab this move right over here, right? So you go in maybe right around here, or let's say you just put it at 6,600, right? So you enter it at 6,600, it goes all the way to 6,400, you're up $200. So now you know that ATR is at 300. So you can put your ATR all the way up here at 300. And this way you protect yourself. This way you never ever would get a chance of getting hit. If you put it at 100, you might get out already. So what you have to do is you have to kind of let the trade work for you and see how long you want to hold this for. If you want to hold it for now, just for a quick bit, then you get out, right? Because if you put it at 100 or at 60, you're going to get hit. And then what you do is you wait for another move. Maybe you wait for the 50 EMA cross. So you go in here, you take a signal, 6,500, it goes right down. And you say to yourself, you know what? I'm up $200, right? I'm willing to give up 100, half the 4-hour ATR. Then you put it there and you get out. Or you might be willing to lose a little bit less. You can do it over and over and over again. And by doing that, what you're doing is you're protecting yourself. You can let things run maybe a little bit, right? But if it comes back, it'll never get you for your full amount of money. And that's really what you want to do as you're trading. So if you hit this here, right here on a day trade, right over here, you went short. How do you protect yourself? Over here. So if you did it here at 63.50, you put it at 116, it wouldn't get you out. But here at this very, very low, it's at 63.20, right? Once it hits about 64.30 over here, it'll kick you out as it goes a little bit higher. And this way, you're still guaranteeing yourself a nice profit. So what you have to do is, what I like to do is, when I'm in a profitable mode over a certain amount of money, whether it's based on your risk, right, or your reward level, right, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you don't take a loser on that one. In the beginning of the trade, it's always a little bit hard, right? But if your trade is a good one, right, you can tighten it up a little bit, but not too tight, right, and then figure it out. So what I use is ATR. So by using ATR, I have a better chance of keeping my trades in a winning side. So the thing that you want to do, right, is you don't want to just listen to me. Right? What you want to do is you want to keep your trade records. See how things go. Use the ATRs, right, or use whatever system that you want to think of, right? Dollar amount, R, right? If you can look at it on Investopedia, you can look at R. You look at it, and then you can see which one is the best for you. And then what you do is you plot the winning and losing trades on a graph paper, right, or in Excel, and then you just graph it. And then you see where most of your winning trades or losing trades end up. So what I mean by that is that if your stop loss normally is 150, right, ask yourselves how many times did that 150 save you? If it goes to 155, 160 a lot on the loser, right, then you might say, you know what, maybe I should move it to 170. So those are the things you have to look at. So if you plot these things, you have a better visual graphic of where things are. The last thing too is you have to be willing to accept losses. So that's the whole thing about number 2, right? If we go back to it, what you don't want to do is you don't want to, normal volatility is the key, right? Strong reverse moves, no one can help. Small volatility is something that we can't help because you just don't keep it that tight, right? Normal volatility is something that we can't help because if things are at 116, 150, whatever that normal is for normal volatility, right? And you keep it there, you keep it a little bit below there, right, and it hits you and comes and gets you, then that's just what happens, right? And you have to suck it up and just take it. And that's what you mean about accepting losses, even if it goes up against you, but you can't chase. And that's really the key. So we thank you for watching. If you liked our videos, please share it with your friends and other crypto traders. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. If you have any questions, please ask away in the comments section below. We do a very good job of answering all of our comments and questions right away. Thank you again for watching, and see you in our next video.